Hi, friend. It's Melinda. This is Unhinged founder. If you don't know me, I'm Melinda Jackson. I am the owner of Melinda Jackson Public Relations, and I'm based here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I love, love, love interviewing other entrepreneurs to talk about their unhinged stories. Now, this is not going to be an unhinged interview. It's very peaceful, very laid back because our guest is very peaceful and very laid back. Quite opposite of my energy. So let's get into it. All right, Lynda, tell us all about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Great to be here. I would say that, well, I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I work one-on-one with women, mostly on Zoom like this, but it could be in person as well if someone's in the area and would like to work with me. People typically think of what I do as life coaching, but as I've been working with people more, it feels more accurate to call it authenticity coaching. And just to give you my little elevator pitch, what I like to say is for women who've always felt like they were missing something but didn't quite know what it was, I act as a guide for them to that part of themselves they didn't even know they longed for all their lives. And with that, I would just say the company I created is called Live From Your Truth. And it's essentially about that, about stepping into full authenticity within ourselves and embodying who we really are, like being real and authentic and saying what we want to say and not holding back and not saying no when we mean, not saying yes when we mean no. And to me, that's true authenticity along with so much more. But in a nutshell, that's what it is and what I do.
Yeah. So tell us like how you even got into that. So like where'd you go to college? What did you go to college for? What does your career journey look like up until this point?
Yeah, good question. I would say, um, I'd say around, so I was born in Trinidad, it's an island in the Caribbean, moved to New York when I was 12, went to college in New York City, and did the smart thing. So I did what I thought I should be doing, and I felt like I was following a script that wasn't even my own. I was just doing what you're supposed to do, what society says. You go get the smart career that's going to make money and then get married and have the kids and buy a beautiful house. So I did all the
Everything that
things.
society tells us we have to do as women. We have to
Yeah,
check all the boxes.
check all the boxes. So I went through that, checked all the boxes, got the smart career in IT, and yeah, just followed the path of something that wasn't even my own. And so I would say 5 years ago, I looked at my life and realized that I did everything I thought I should be doing, should be, but not what I actually wanted, what lit me up, what excited me, what was inspiring me from within. It was just like, this is what you're supposed to do, so do that. And that was just a really eye-opening moment. And I knew I didn't want to do it that way anymore. So I started being really truthful. And it was kind of cool the way how the more I spoke my truth, the more things started to like line up and unfold in ways that were like supporting me and being more real and more truthful. And it wasn't always easy. It meant that I would end a relationship I had for 16 years with my ex-husband. And that was challenging, but at the same time for him, it set him free to be his true, authentic self as well. I feel because now he's pursuing a career that really means something to him as well. I think so. It just feels like the more I chose myself and what was true for me, the more everything and everyone around me became more real and like genuine. So, yeah, that's kind of how it all started. Started with that. I think I answered your question.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like your story is so similar to so many people. It's like, you started doing this out of a place of having gone through it yourself. And so is that kind of like what happened with you? You're like, "Oh my God, I'm going through it." And then you
Mhm.
started using your voice more and you started being your authentic self and then you're like, "Wait, I want other people to feel how I feel right now," and teaching them what you've kind of learned. Is that kind of was that kind of your approach?
So I would say in 2022, I invested in something that was out of the ordinary, not on my script. I decided to go into life and parenting coaching because I really just wanted to learn how to coach myself, like with all the, like the thoughts we tend to have about feeling not good enough, not worthy, like we have to keep striving for something on the outside while feeling like no matter what I'm doing, I'm not feeling filled up within. I just had this desire to like really see the inner workings of what was going on inside of me. So I did that, and it was really great in terms of like seeing my patterns in parenting and choosing to do things differently, and then also for myself. So it was for me not to necessarily become a coach, but to just understand things for myself. And then from there, I realized the power in going in and doing all this inner work, and it just started this spiral of doing more and more things where I was investing in myself in terms of like going on retreats, meditation retreats, silent retreats, things where I really got to see what was going on inside me. And then eventually I got to a point where I had a way of knowing when I was being truthful and when I was being in alignment, what I call in alignment. And it was like night and day. And I felt completely different when I was in flow with myself versus running programs and thinking, oh, you should be doing this or you should go do that, or the guilt that we carry as women. So naturally, when you see your patterns and you've found a way within yourself to clarify and stay in alignment with yourself, I feel it's only natural that we want to share that and support other women. So that's what started the whole desire to not only do this for myself, but now share it with other people, because I feel like what I do works for me. So why not? I mean, it's not complicated. It's just a matter of being courageous and honest and being really open to looking at ourselves. And so that's why I do what I do. Yeah.
I love that so much. And I feel like I have noticed like most of my business success is when I'm being my authentic self and I'm saying no to things. And I know it can always be like nerve-wracking as an entrepreneur to say no or turn down a potential client or whatever. But if you're getting those red flags or that like gut feeling like this is not it, like you have to follow that. You have to honor yourself, or else it's going to get you into a situation where like there's just going to be too much drama and it's not going to be worth it. And but every time you say no and you trust your gut, the money comes back tenfold, or the next client that comes through the door is like more money and more exciting and more hands off, and they trust you to just run with things. Yeah. So I've noticed that a lot in my own business and my own personal life. Another thing, to kind of go back to like the checking the boxes, being a woman and doing what your parents want and everything. I've also noticed that every time I've gone against my parents in a way that was like me just trusting my gut and knowing what they wanted from me was not for my highest good, like it has worked out. I moved to LA with $500 in my pocket. They told me not to do it. I moved to LA. They cut me off. I had a very successful career in entertainment PR. They told me not to quit my job whenever I moved back to North Carolina. I quit it, and now I've been in PR for with myself for 7 years, and I have this great company where I've made six figures every year. Yeah. So it's like your parents want you to be safe, and they're trying to be supportive, but it's also okay to not do that, not do what they want.
Right. Trust that part of you that's beyond that, right? Yeah.
And like, is that something too that you try to coach your clients on, is like trusting your intuition and like listening to that and strengthening that muscle?
Yeah, totally. I mean, well, I would say a big part of why we're not able to do that, it's because the layers of programming that are there, and so there's a certain amount of like clearing or knowing when we're falling into those patterns of what we are used to doing and choosing not to do that, to allow space for that deeper resonance and that intuition to like really bubble up and be like, you'll know. It comes, like you said, from your gut. You feel it, that strong pull towards talking to someone or doing something. So, yeah, that's a huge part of it. And there are ways to, like, kind of hone in on bringing out more of your authentic self that I like to share with people. And once we do that, you can feel it. It's like a tangible feeling in your body when you have that knowing about what to do and when to do it. I bet you've experienced that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like as you were saying that, I'm thinking like I have my authentic code written on a little note here. So I always talk about it. I do To Be Magnetic. I've been following their programming for years now, probably since 2016, 2017. But it's a mixture of it's manifestation work, and it's a mixture of doing what they call deep imaginings, which are just a meditation that's all about neural reprogramming, and it's all based in neuroscience, but then also, journaling through it, because the act of journaling really helps you get it all out, and you have to see it. So anyway, with that, they have something called an authentic code, and you go through it and you do all this work and you figure out what your authentic code is. And I'll read mine. So it's adventure and travel, community and connection, learning and growing, and purpose and creativity. And so anything that I do, work or personal, if it does not check these boxes, I don't need to do it. But like even this podcast, like this is community and connection, and it's learning and growth, and it's purpose and creativity. So that checks 3 of my 4 buckets. So, I always encourage people to try to figure out, even if you don't, do your like To Be Magnetic authentic code, figure out, what your pillars are, because then it's so much. Yeah, then it's so much easier to say no, because if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Yeah. And if we don't have standards of what is ideal for us, how do we know? We're kind of just going with whatever feels.
Exactly. And like, my boyfriend and I sat down on Sunday because he's an entrepreneur now, and the economy is shit right now, and we're just trying to figure out both of our businesses and everything, and we sat down and I just asked him a bunch of questions, and we got so clear on what he wants to feel, what he wants to do, like all of that stuff, how much money he wants to make. And then we realized there's a lot of lack there, or there's a lot of just like not knowing what's possible. And so then we figured out, okay, well, what do you actually have going on right now? And we figured out he's in a really great place. And so then just seeing his confidence this week after we've like talked through that has helped so much. And then it made me realize like I need to do that for myself more often, I need to do this personally. Are there any things like that you kind of like walk people through? So like any of our listeners, like what could you tell them that they could do today to just like completely game change things for themselves?
Yeah. I'll just comment on what you said though before I answer it. I just feel like that's a great relationship if you guys can go into that with such transparency and share, and awesome. Your question was, what can I share with people in terms of like tools?
Yeah.
Tools in terms of connecting more with yourself?
Yeah, or just like anything. So like everybody's going through it right now. The world's on fire. Like what are a couple like tips, tricks, tools that you can give people just to kind of reconnect with themselves, especially as we're going into the holiday season? Everybody's going to hate their lives because of stress.
Yeah. I mean, I would say one of the greatest ways to come back to alignment to yourself is to maintain a sense of being present, like not in the mind. I mean, we've heard this, but a simple trick that I've heard from a wisdom teacher called RJ Spina is to question. So let's say you're with family and you're feeling triggered, like maybe they're annoying you and you're like, I can't take this, and you want to walk away. I'm sure that's common for Thanksgiving. You can pause for a minute and say, well, who is the one that's feeling annoyed, frustrated, whatever? And then, so you'll say, like, who's the one that's feeling annoyed? And then your mind will go, me. And then you ask another question a level deeper. You go, who am I? And what that does is it kind of drains the mental body of that idea of ourselves as that person, and it brings us back to stillness and connection to our true selves, which is just awareness. We're just the awareness. That's what I share with people when I work with them. We're not the running commentary and the mind-made sense of self. We are the awareness, if that makes sense. And so when you say, who's the one that's frustrated, you're questioning that mind-made sense of self. And then when you go a level deeper and you say, who am I? That kind of clears that and just brings you back to yourself. And then you feel a moment of peace, and you can just maintain that and still talk to your family, but you're now in a state of like connection to yourself, and you don't have to like react to whatever's happening. You can just be there.
Yeah. And for some people it might be hard, especially if they're not someone that meditates regularly or anything like that. It might be hard for them to like sit there and be still for a second and ask themselves questions, because they might feel a little stupid. So one thing that I like to do in situations like that too is like, I will just, even if I'm sitting in front of everybody, I'll close my eyes really quickly and I just imagine a protection bubble around me. And it's like, okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, Ollie's here.
Aww.
Ollie's here, everybody. Ollie alert. He's on the podcast.
Hey, Ollie, you're adorable.
He knows I'm talking to people, so he has to be in it too. But I'll just close my eyes for a second and just imagine a protection bubble all around me, and it's like, and then seeing like no one can get in. So that helps me a little bit, just energetically, or even just like a white light just all around me, and it's like, okay, I know they're all getting on my nerves, but it'll be over in 45 minutes. Like, I can do this for 45 minutes. Nope. It's also okay to say no. It's also okay if you have a really crazy family dynamic, it's also okay to set a boundary and not go.
Yeah. And taking like a couple really deep breaths are very powerful too. It's so simple, but it also clears your mental, whatever chatter is going on or whatever frustration's coming up.
Yeah.
And like you said, walking away.
Yeah. Hey, that's my favorite. I love a boundary. I'm like, no, I'm okay. Hard pass. So do you like get into like, what modalities do you use in your coaching? Like, do you get really into the woo woo? Like, what does that look like?
No, I feel, well, woo woo meaning like a lot of meditation and things like
meditation, breath work, visualizations, any of that stuff.
No, it's a lot of like, kind of like what we just did, where it's like you're questioning the pattern of thinking, because once you see the thing that you're believing and you realize it's not true, because none of our thoughts are real. They're just kind of like what's floating around here, and we're picking it up and we believe it's real and we're running with it, but it's not the truth of who we are. So when you see it for what it is and how you're just kind of like picking up on programming and believing it to be real, like genuinely believing like I'm not good enough. I mean, when you truly get that that's just a program you're running, it frees you up, right? So I feel like there's so much power in just seeing that and liberating yourself from things like that. So it's mostly around that. And then also kind of like with the breath, not breath work, but like allowing people to really sink into being that state of awareness without thinking. So I don't think that's too woo-woo, but it's like allowing you to connect to the real you, which is, it's the truth of who we are. We're not that, mind-made sense of self. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't really consider it breath work. It's just breathing, and which I can't do breath work because it triggers my anxiety too bad. So I will just like it throws me into a panic attack. So anytime I'm at like a retreat or somewhere and they're like, okay, we're going to do breath work now, I'm like, I'm good. I am good. Which I feel like a lot of breathwork teachers would say, oh, that means you need to do it more. I'm like, no, I have asthma and anxiety. It is not working for me. So talk about some of the retreats that you went to that you liked, because I am like very into that. I really want to go to some.
You are?
So tell me all about it.
Yeah, okay. Up in Boone, I don't know if you know of the Art of Living retreat.
Art of Living, yeah. I've wanted to go so bad. I just on their calendar all the time, and I'm like, maybe I'll go and stay in a dorm one day.
Yeah, and it's not a woo-woo type experience that I've experienced there. It was more like a 5-day retreat where you don't talk. It's just silence and
That
all.
is my dream, even though I am an extreme extrovert. I
Yeah.
feel like you would be fine. You're like soft spoken and chill. I am the opposite of that. I've never had
Yeah.
a chill day in my life.
But it could be so transformational because you just, all you hear is yourself coming up over and over and over, and you get to like see what's going on there.
Yeah,
Um,
so okay, tell me, sorry, not to interrupt you, but tell me
yeah.
more about that. So like, because I'm always curious. Obviously, the practitioners or whatever, they're talking.
Hmm.
And like, do people like sneak and talk to each other? Like, what does that look like?
I didn't, but I bet people did. So it was like 20 of us or so, and there's lodging, so you stay in rooms. You can do like a shared room with someone, or you can have your own. I had my own room, so I didn't really have an opportunity to cheat. But um, yeah, you every morning go to like the meeting room, which is kind of like a big yoga room, sit on mats, and they'd have maybe like a short teaching and then a moment where we'd all sit together without talking. But the whole time they were the ones talking, you were just sitting and reflecting. And maybe they'll give you like journal prompts and you answer them. So you're still doing some inner work through writing, but not talking.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah, I couldn't share a room with anybody because I would cheat. I would like it would do me
yeah.
no good, especially if it's like one of my friends. I would be like gossip girl, chatting all night.
Yep. Whispering.
Yes, exactly. Like you're like a little kid, like, oh my God, can you believe that person? Or like that person accidentally farted in yoga, you know?
I know. Burst out laughing.
Yeah.
I'd probably cheat with laughing and then it'll turn to talking. Yeah, if I
Yeah.
was with a friend.
Well, honestly, I want to go to one. I love it. I think, like, I
Yeah.
keep saying my dream, I just, the very least, want to go check myself into an Airbnb in the mountains and just like journal and meditate for a
Yeah.
couple days just to recalibrate. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've been looking at those sales on Art of Living all the time, just waiting. So is that the only one you've gone to there, or have you gone to others?
So that was one I did last year, or maybe the year before. But for a while, I did a couple of Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreats. Have you heard of him? Yeah. So I did a few of those, and I loved the locations. Like one was in Cancun, one was in Marco Island, Florida, which is really
Yeah.
beautiful. And yeah, it was just really pretty in the ballroom and the connection to really interesting people there. For that one, you can talk. It's usually like a 5-day or a 3-day. And I think now he even has like a 10-day retreat,
Oh my
which is
gosh.
great. But yeah, there's a lot more meditation type stuff. So, like, you can go for 3 to 5 hours in meditation with those retreats.
I feel like I would just fall asleep at that point.
Yeah, it's a
Like
little more advanced.
if
Yeah.
if there's a meditation that's longer than 20 minutes, I am snoring. I am asleep.
Yeah. But somehow the time, you'd be surprised, like
Yeah.
3 hours ends up feeling like 30 minutes somehow.
Well, I know like every time I've done a sound bath, it's easy for me to like drop in
Yeah.
and I'll feel like it's been 10 minutes and they're like, "Okay, it's been an hour and a half." And then I'm like, "What? I didn't even know I was on this planet."
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how it works that way. So those were really transformational for sure.
And did you have a hard time taking that many days off or feeling okay with taking that many days off?
Well, at that point, I was transitioned out of IT. I was in full time in my this what I do now. So I had the flexibility to just do what felt right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't that's my issue. Like PR, it changes every single day and I have so many different clients and so many different projects at all times.
Right.
I would have a really hard time being like, okay, you're going to go to this thing, even though it is in Boone, it's not very far, for
Yeah.
5 days and
Yeah.
not having any time to work. And I'm sure they're like, do not work while you're here. There's probably not even Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah. No.
I feel like I feel like they said there's not Wi-Fi or something like, and so yeah, I don't know
I
if I can
think
do it.
actually I did have my computer, but they recommend not using it as much. So
Yeah.
you do have the freedom to have your things.
But then I feel like it would negate everything for me, because then I would check my email and then I would start working and then I would spiral out and then I have to get on a call with someone. And I'm like, I'm at an effing silent retreat.
Yeah, I guess
Oh
it
my Lord.
doesn't count if you're still like in work mode in your head, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I realize I probably need it more than most, but it's like, oh, that's the catch 22, right? Of like,
Yeah.
but maybe I'll put it on my goals for 2026. Actually, I will. I'm going to put it on a goal for 2026 to go to one of the Art of Living ones, because they're pretty inexpensive, like
Oh
compared
yeah.
to most, and it's something that I could drive to.
Yeah, a couple hours and it's beautiful up there. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I'm
love
excited
it.
for you. Let me know if you do it.
Oh, I will. I will be messaging you and be like, "Girl, tell me all the things. Like, what do I need to do? Give me the tips and tricks." And I love that they have, this is turning into an Art of Living ad. They need to freaking sponsor this. I'm going to
I
send it to them.
know.
But I love that they have like build your own retreat if you need.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm saying all this as I have a client that is a retreat in Carmel, California, and I could easily go there for free, but
Wow.
it's life. Um,
Yeah.
so what's kind of next for you? What are you envisioning for 2026? Like, have you made your goals yet? Any of that stuff?
Good question. I would say at the moment I'm focused on getting to know women more. So what I've been doing, I'm calling it like a story capture. So I do like a, let's say 45, 50-minute interview, kind of like this, like a Zoom call. And that helps me get to know women and like be in their shoes a little more, like understand their challenges. A lot of it is around major life events that have happened where they've gone through transformations, or let's say they they've never had a chance to consider like, what does authenticity mean to me? What does freedom mean to me? Like, so much of being able to create freedom or abundance means that you have to have a clear picture of what that looks like for you, because it's different for everyone. So these interviews feel really great because I'm giving them a chance to reflect and to make clear for themselves something that maybe they never considered before. And it's also a way for me to get them to know me, get comfortable with me, and then if they feel called to it, then we work together.
Yeah.
So for now, it's like just getting to know people, getting comfortable with doing the interviews and having fun on them. I like this actually. It's a lot
Yeah.
of fun. It's casual, it feels relaxed,
Yeah.
and then from there we see where it goes. Yeah.
I love it. So it's like a fun market research, and
Yeah.
maybe you make friends and maybe you get some clients, but regardless, you're connecting with other people. And I love what you were saying about like figuring out what freedom means to them and abundance means to them. And that's something I preach to my friends all the time. And like I said, I did it with my boyfriend this weekend, but it's like, if you are not clear on what you want, what you're trying to call in, what like success looks like to you, nothing's gonna happen.
Yep.
Even in business, like
Yeah.
I go through that with my clients all the time, and it's like, do you even know who your audience is? Then like everything you're doing is for nothing,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing with personal. You have to be clear on
Clarity.
those goals and everything, or else you're never going to call it in. It's never going to happen. Because your subconscious needs something to go off of,
Yeah.
or else
New
you're just going to
direction.
be at lack all the time.
Yep. You get
I
it.
love it. Should I be a coach? Oh my God.
I'm like, she
No,
gets it.
I know. I get it, girl. So I will tell you this. When people say they're a coach, I'm always like, womp. Like, no. Because I'm sure you've seen all the girlies are coaches now. But like, you've gone through it. You've
Yeah.
gone through training. You have
Yeah.
gone to all these retreats to get the tools and everything, and to not only help yourself, but have tools to help other people.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot different than these girls who have heard on Instagram that they can make a lot of money by being a coach.
Thank you for saying that. I agree. I
Yeah.
feel like being in the shoes and being the transformation is different than just supporting someone without having gone through it yourself. It's a totally different experience. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
So,
Well, is there anything else you want to share, or if
I
not, just tell us where to find you?
Yeah, the last thing I would say is I recently wrote a book and it's gonna be ready for order on December 15th. It's available for pre-order right now, but if anyone's interested in kind of getting a flavor of what I'm talking about, the things I've done with myself, and what I can support them with, that's a great way to get to know me and what I do.
Yeah.
So that's available. I can share a link to that.
Yeah, send it
It's
to me. We'll
called,
put it in the show notes.
yeah, it's called Inside Creation.
Oh,
Inside
I
Out
love it.
Creation. Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome.
Thank
Cool.
you.
And tell everybody where they can find you.
Sure. I would say you can find me on www.livefromyourtruth.com.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for coming on and being my friend.
You too.
And yeah, that's all we got. So thanks, girl.
You're welcome. This was fun.
How fun was that conversation? Don't you just want to go to a retreat now? I mean, I know I said it a million times in there, but I have to go to a retreat now. I'm gonna look at my calendar. This is gonna be on the internet, so you guys have to hold me accountable. I'm gonna look at my calendar. I'm gonna figure out a way so I can go to a retreat and reconnect with myself and recharge and be really woo-woo, hopefully. But I don't know if I could do a silent retreat. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll do it for science. Who knows? But thank you guys for listening. Please go and pre-order her book or order her book if it's already out by the time this comes out. And like, let's support other amazing female founders, especially in the Raleigh area. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Like and subscribe to my podcast. It's Unhinged. Dun, dun, dun.